I've always had a passion for being around and learning about animals. When I was younger, going to zoos and animal parks was always a part of my life. I wanted to share my passion with family and friends, so I started working with people that loved animals as much as I did, and my YouTube channel was born.
Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm here with Steve at the Memphis Zoo. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
No good. What do we have here?
Well, this is a Tamandua. This is Mr. Wendell. We have two Tamanduas at the Memphis Zoo, a male and a female. Mr. Wendell obviously is a male.
And where can you find these animals in the wild?
Well, they're found throughout Latin America. There's two species, the northern and the southern Tamandua. Mr. Wendell is a southern Tamandua, and they're found from central Mexico on down through the Amazon basin.
And with the lighting situation that we have here, are these animals nocturnal?
They are. They're very nocturnal, exclusively. They are, here in the building, we have them on a reverse light cycle. So the building's open now. It's about 10 in the morning, but Mr. Wendell thinks it's nighttime because the lights just went out. And then around 10 o'clock tonight, when we think it's nighttime, bright white lights will come on. He'll think it's daytime, and he'll go to sleep.
So it doesn't like mess up their natural cycle or anything?
Doesn't mess it up at all. He's completely flip-flop, but he doesn't know that. He's here in the building, and his body has adjusted, and for all he knows, the sun has just set, and night has begun.
And that's really good for any visitors, because as we're sitting inside the enclosure, they can just see a nice active animal.
Right, if this was a typical exhibit, and we were brightly lit, as you'd expect, Mr. Wendell would be curled up in a ball up on a branch, sound asleep and not moving. You know, he doesn't care what we call day or night, but we want his nighttime to be when the visitors are here and can observe him moving around and being himself, and just much more interesting.
And you have this little broom here to prevent him from climbing us, and why would we want to prevent that?
Well, Mr. Wendell and Tamanduas in general are really docile animals. I've done some field work in Belize, and we often encounter wild Tamanduas. You can approach them very closely. They don't run away. They don't attack. So they're good-natured, gentle animals. But they have incredibly powerful grips and huge claws, like 10-penny nails, just giant daggers. And poor Mr. Wendell might just want to come up and be our friend and climb up your leg and come up and see you. He means no harm. However, that hand grip is so strong that it would make a grown man cry to have him crawl up their leg. So I have a broom just to kind of keep Mr. Wendell back and make sure he doesn't try to climb on us.
Because right before we started filming, he was climbing one of these really small branches, and to support an animal that size, something that small, you'd have to have a lot of grip.
There's nothing that he can't climb. Those powerful, powerful hands are also used for tearing up termite nests. And that's what Tamanduas eat. They go up into trees. In Latin America, many of the termites live in big nests up in trees. They look like hornets' nests, and very different from the termites we have around here. And so Tamanduas go up in those trees, and they tear these termite nests apart to get at the juicy termites. The nests are made from mud and secretions from the termites, but they're very hard. They're not quite as hard as concrete, but they're not too far off. And so these powerful claws are used to tear these termite nests apart and then get at the juicy bugs.
He's just being kind of a pain here now.
He's just curious, and he's very good-natured, but
again, those claws, you don't want to cause any harm to us, because that's not very good.
That's right. We'll just keep him away. He's getting the message. He's okay.
So what do you feed these animals here to kind of replicate their natural diet?
Yeah, that's a good question. We sure can't give them termites. We have we call it gruel. Some of you may know what gruel is. It's just a big, thick, soppy-looking, fluidy mess. It looks like mud, but the foundation of it is a prepared diet that a company that makes various exotic animal diets prepares. It's called insectivore, and we get it in the form of, looks like dog kibble. So we take this insectivore diet and grind it up into a powder, and then we add water, and we add some other fluids, and we add vitamins, and we add some banana, and it's just this big, very unappetizing, soppy mess, and he laps that up with his tongue. It takes him a while to get used to it. Mr. Wendell has been in captivity a long time. Our female, Mary Ann, we imported her from Guyana, and it took us a good number of weeks to switch her over from termites to this gruel. But once she got a taste of it, she realized that she likes it, and she eats it really well. So does Mr. Wendell.
And you're saying he's very curious, as that little demonstration we just had there. He's really trying to get to know us, but again, the whole claw situation is kind of preventing that.
Yeah, yeah.
What is one of your favorite things about this species of animal?
Well, I happen to like the smell. Have you picked up on the smell yet?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, they're called in some parts of Central America. They have a name for these, and it's the translation from Spanish is the little stinker of the forest. They deserve that title. They've got a very strong, musky smell. Those of you watching can't pick it up, but if you're near a tamandua, even in the wild, you know it before you see it. They're like a skunk. But my favorite thing about tamanduas is that smell. To me, it just says exotic animal, and
Yes.
I just can't get enough of it. Let's get a big lungful of that musky tamandua smell, and consider ourselves very fortunate. There he is. Hey, Mr. Wendell.
People out there on the other side of the glass don't get to smell it.
And can you hear him sniff, 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 sniffing?
Yes. And why exactly is he doing that?
Of course, they've got eyes, but they've got poor eyesight. They hear extremely well, and their real powerful sense is their sense of smell. They sniff out termites, if you can imagine that. I smell termites, and they don't seem to have any smell to me. But he can tell that there's a termite up a tree from 20, 30 feet away with that powerful nose. So anytime a tamandua is moving and walking, he's just sniffing everywhere.
It's kind of like my dog back at home, they're just smelling constantly, except
Yeah.
they're not hunting termites.
Yeah, listen up. Where's my termites? Where's my food?
And how does this coloration help them in the wild?
Well, I don't really know. Of course, he's active at night, so coloration isn't a big issue with him. He's moving around in the pitch dark, not this kind of situation. And, that's a point. Not everything about an animal has a purpose. Let's come over this
Yes.
a little bit. Not everything about an animal has a purpose. So, hair is going to have a color and going to develop a pattern, and some things aren't necessarily adaptive, but they're not maladaptive. So that would be my guess.
Are these animals endangered in the wild, or?
No, they're really not. This is an animal that has a huge range over many, many countries in Latin America. It's not exploited much by people because of the smell. They're not often eaten and killed, or killed and eaten by local people. They do have predators, jaguars and margays and ocelots, but by and large that smell keeps most animals away. They're quite adaptable. They live near villages, because as long as there's termites, there can be tamanduas. So no, they're one of the more common animals of the Latin American jungles.
Which, as an animal person, is very good to hear that an animal is not endangered, which is kind of a rare thing to hear nowadays.
Right, it seems like everything is the answer to that question for every animal's yes, they're very threatened because of this or that or this. This is an animal that is actually doing very well.
Which is very good. Well, thank you so much, Steve, for
All right.
telling us about these tamanduas.
I enjoyed talking to you.
I probably pronounced it wrong, but...
No, that's good. That's good.
And if you guys enjoyed this week's episode, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram, @ColeShirk. And as always, I'll see you next week.